Hey guys! Last time we took the road toward the unknown as we started to make a new keel from scratch for ORIYO. After probably too much thoughts, we ended just diving into it. We got the drawings ready, gathered the steel parts protected from corrosion, and the first steps to assembly the structure welded already. And now it is time to deal with the lid. Luc, the welder, put together one side from the bottom parts to the top. He left the other side partially open for us to pour the lid with an easy access and make sure the liquid lid will lay down on the bottom perfectly.
It's important there is no water inside the keel, and there is a lot of rain actually in the south of France, so it's okay. Okay.
So it's dry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dry.
The steel structure is made of a typically strong steel alloy that comes from the industrial supply. It has been covered with a hot coat of zinc. That sprayed-on process aims to prevent this steel from further corrosion. Then the welder has ground the edges before joining parts together and applying a weld bead. The current shape you can see will not stay exactly the same when we finish. To get strengthful welds on the front and back ends, Luc chose to do 90 degrees angle weldings instead of V-shape weldings. So we will first have a more cubic shape on each ends we will have to refashion. To tie up the keel to the boat, the 9 full-size bolts are both welded and secured by nuts to the structure. They are running through the keel and will be laying into the lid except for the very upper tip that will go up in the bilge.
What are you doing?
Well, we need to know exactly how many tons of lids that we will put in the new keel. So in order to do so, we need to weigh everything. It's like 4 kilos there. Just adding another one.
Yes, I think 5 for the beginning, it's perfect.
Is it 5?
Yeah. Okay.
We used the simplest technique we found to do the melting by itself. A paella gas burner, a cooking pot, a skimmer to remove dust and other residues, a small pot and a ladle to pour in the keel.
So this afternoon we are running the first test to melt the lid. So we finally get everything that we needed to do so. And for now the lid is heating for a couple of minutes so far. And we are counting the time that it takes to melt the first 5 kilos. So we'll have a clue of how much time we will need to melt, well, 10 kilos, then 100, then 1 ton, and etc. We know that when we get the first kilos melted already, you can just add some more pieces of lids and it will melt faster and faster over time. But it's the first one. So it's the first batch, and we know that it might be the longer one, but so yeah, that's why we are counting time and getting as much as information that we need to get a little idea of how much time we will spend melting the keel. Well, melting the lid for the keel. Strange noises. Let's see. Watch, just there.
Oh, begin.
There is a very small piece. Oops, sorry. Kind of of melted lead. Yeah, so with Valery we are going to equip ourselves with some glasses and breathing mask to protect our breathing system.
The thing is, while the lead is melting, loads of toxic vapors are produced. The risks for health have to be taken seriously. So we are using all the suitable protection gear.
Il y a beaucoup de saleté quand même.
Oui. So the lid is starting to melt very good, but there's a lot of dust that Valery is removing right now.
C'est incroyable ce truc.
This looks so weird. Actually, it's like there's a little skin right in the surface.
As you can see, Valery wears specific working pants and shoes and a protective apron that keeps him from lead spatters. He also put on Boilermaker gloves, large-scale protective glasses and an accurate air-purifying respirator, a half mask with cartridge used against chemical vapors.
And I get the mosquitoes.
It's the best job I ever do.
You might ending by getting a, like a store service or something, doing people's kills. So there, 12 kilos. So it looks like a lot for just 12 kilos because they are very thin pieces. Sometimes just a small piece, but very, very heavy elements. So it kind of depends. This is impressive.
Yes, this is the French Riviera. Tu sens déjà là?
$327.
Yeah, I think.
The weather is a bit cold and the lead tend to harden quickly. So sometimes we use the blowtorch to heat up the surface of the lead already in the keel. This process is also useful to warm the steel itself. That way we avoid getting room between the lead and the structure. Plus it keeps the lead liquid so we are sure that it goes in every space.
Si on le fait entre chaque casserole, tu vas pas m'en sortir.
Faut vraiment pas en prendre beaucoup.
On va pas en ramasser par terre. C'est comme tu te mets vachement. So first melt.
It's what's finished for the first time, for the first step. Not the first step, the first test.
Yeah. It was quite okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's long, but it's okay.
Yeah. Finally, in like 2.5 hours, we've done 142 kilos, which is, I don't even know if it's good or not, but it will be probably the average time that we will do. So I'd say that it was a nice first shot. Hopefully we will do even better and at least as good as this time for the rest of the steps.
There is a lot of mosquitoes. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Although we've been eaten alive by the mosquitoes,
Oh,
so hopefully
crazy.
there will be less and less mosquitoes in the days to come. But we are not sure about that because it's quite the weather
Oh, it's
for
crazy.
mosquitoes, you know. Okay, so day 2. Valery is already doing the first batch. Yesterday it took us 20 minutes to melt it, so we're expecting to put another 20 minutes here for the first batch today, and then we know that the more you melt and the quickest it's the more you melt and the quicker it takes. So the thing about today is the sun is shining and the sky is blue, but we have a lot of wind. I think they are forecasting 25 knots, so we have to protect from the wind the melting area, so we don't have any trouble with the fire and the wind. Okay, so there, as you can see, we have another gas tank, and we protected with a plank of wood held by some lid, and well, it's just because there we had a small area where the wind was getting, and on the other side we have, well, we put some protection there, and to avoid it from, well, the structure, to avoid it from falling off, of course, we add some lid.
You just don't go in a store and ask for several tons of lead every morning, do you? So you probably wonder where we found it. Well, we thought in the first place we could start by cutting our old keel into pieces and melt them. That way we would reuse it and buy less new lead.
We started to remove the heads of the bolts from the keel. To do so, we took a lot of information to know what kind of tools we should use, and so far we tried a couple of them and it's not very efficient. So we did that so far in like maybe, I don't know, 2 hours, and tomorrow we'll do hopefully more and probably try some other tools. Okay, have a look.
Lead is a really soft metal, so the idea was to go with a chainsaw. But we faced a major issue, disastrous for our plan. We broke 4 chains to cut only tiny pieces. Then we tried with different other tools, nothing worked, but to get so small pieces. It would take forever to cut it all. We had to stop and get information about why this keel was so hard to cut. And in fact, it was the same reason then why this keel died, eaten by corrosion. At that time, some lead keels were manufactured with an additive to strengthen the lead, as it is naturally very soft. The idea was good at the beginning, as to use the quality of lead with a hardener to make it secured. The problem was some of them received way too many additives, and the consequences for these keels were to weaken their properties, opening the way to corrosion process and making them really, really hard. There you can see the first cracks into the lead thickness made by its toughness. And you can notice, beside the silver color of the lead, all the corrosion spots present deep in the keel. We did try and melt these pieces, but it was a waste of time. Sadly, we had to decide to not use the lead from our old keel. This would take too much time, tools, and a lot of gas. Moreover, how could we be sure of the quality of the lead, knowing what's inside? We found a scrap metal merchant who agreed to buy it from us. So now we have a little budget and some time to look for a better lead. Luckily, we are just in the good place to find all the lead we need. And we got the whole amount from 2 other keels, from 2 other old boats. Plus, it was already cut into pieces for us to start to melt.
Today it's the 5th day, day 6, 9th day. A new day of melting the lead is starting today.
And after a while, we finished filling in the first stage. Luc came to weld the end of the steel structure that closed up the keel for good, leaving only an opening on top for us to pour the rest of lead. We could then discover for the very first time our keel fashioned. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Sailing ORIYO. We are glad to see your reaction every time. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, and write us a little comments. You can reach us on Patreon as well. The keel will be looking like a keel a little bit more soon. So next time we'll make sure to share with you all the works going on. Until then, bye!